Out of all the pets we had growing up, a variety because my sister loved animals, one of my personal favorites would be a kitten we named Fluffy. My aunt's cat had kittens and we were able to go in and choose one to keep. I remember playing with a litter of 7 or so kittens, trying to figure out which one we would take home. My sister was fond of this adorable gray coat kitty, but I had my eyes set on a mostly black cat with a few spots of gray and orange. I'm not sure what it was about that kitten, but I knew we had to have her. I have no idea why we ended up choosing the one I liked most, but that night we left with her. My mom chose the name Fluffy, and my sister and I couldn't have been more excited. Fluffy was definitely a gem. Unlike a lot of cats I've known, she recognized her name and, when she was willing, would come to the sound of it. She was friendly and playful, but still your average cat who would occasionally bite you if you tried to pet her belly. My hands would be covered in scratches from some roughhousing, but it was all good. Anyways, we had Fluffy for a good couple of years, and then one day our back door was open and she ran away. To say we were devastated is an understatement. I remember going outside and calling for her with my family to no avail. Calling a dog is one thing, but cats? Even though she knew her name, it was practically impossible. However, after about a week, Fluffy returned. We heard her meowing in the backyard, asking to be let in like nothing happened. We were so relieved, and I remember thinking, this cat knows her home. A little while later, we found out that she was pregante, also known as pregerant, pregnant, or most commonly, pregnant. She would hide in our basement, readying a place to give birth, and at this time, like 5 stray cats would come to our backyard, meowing for no good reason, and we're pretty sure they were all male. So Fluffy ended up giving birth to a litter of about 6 babies of her own. She stayed in the basement for a couple of days, and we let her be. Finally, when it was time to look at her children, they were all mostly blackish colors like her. We looked at all the boys in the yard that seemed to be compelled by her milkshakes, and there was a gray cat, an orange one, some muddier mixes, but none that matched any of her children. To summarize, we ain't know who the daddy was. This activity of hers could all be excusable and I could go along with my life, but after this incident of her leaving and us accepting her back into our home to be safe when delivering her babies, she had the audacity to run away again. Miss Ungrateful decided that this time she was done with us and she wanted to live with the men on the block. Now, I'm not saying anything, but if the shoe fits, hey, I chose her. I've never felt more betrayed in my entire life. Well, maybe, but you get the point. On the interesting side, the aunt that we got her from was able to take one of her kittens, so my family had 3 generations of her family. Unfortunately, that kitten was male and they decided to neuter him, so we never got to continue the lineage. Moral of the story, it be your own pet sometimes.